Hey Alexis, this chapter we're going to cover changing the header, and here's the different topics, and I'll just read through it. So introduction, in this chapter we will, 1, cover how to change the main menu text and links. 2, we'll cover how to change the drop-down menu text and links, the drop-down menu being this one right here. 3, we're going to cover how to change the secondary top navigation menu content and links. That's just the one in the top left corner. 4, we'll cover how to change the main menu and secondary menu font face. That's just the font, so like Times New Roman or Courier. And let's see, 5, we'll cover changing the menu font size. 6, we'll discuss how the menu is not hard-coded into each page. 7, we'll discuss custom CSS. 8, we'll cover how to change the header logo for large pages once and have it affect every page. And 9, we'll discuss how the header, or the menu and logo, design was incompatible with the existing builder, Avada's Fusion Builder, or a typical header with an integrated logo. And 10, we'll cover how to change the header logo for mobile devices. Okay, so I think we'll just go through it step by step. So number 1, how to change the main menu, the dashboard, and appearance menus. Okay. And then we're going to select the landing page menu by clicking on this, and then we'll see landing page menu, and then we'll click select. And then this will pop up, and this is just the menu, so it says landing page menu. And we'll change the About Us as an example. So you just click on this little arrow and this will pop open. As number 2 says, you can change the link address here, and like I said, I wouldn't change it. 3, you can change the menu text here. Then 4, I mentioned do not change the span ID. That's necessary for the vertical indicators. You know, when you mouse over a menu item, you have the little vertical indicators light up, and also just the lines that are there all the time. So that's what I'm talking about. Here, I'll show you. These are the vertical indicators, and so they're controlled by that span ID, so that's why you don't want to erase those or change them. Okay, then we're going to change it to About You instead of About Us. Just an example of how we can change the menu text. So we click in here and change it. Then number 2, we click Save Menu. Then we go to Visit Site. So, and then it'll be changed. So let's go through that on the website. Alright, so we went to Appearance, Menus. Then you want to be in the landing page menu. I already selected that, but I'll show you like how it'd be if we were in a different menu. Okay, so say we're in the faculty menu. So we want to go to the landing page menu, which is in parentheses as main navigation. And we just click select. Then we're going to change the About Us as an example. Like I said, you just click on this little arrow, and it kind of does the accordion thing and it opens up. We want to change the label, you just click in here, and we'll change it to About You. Alright, as I said, we leave the span alone, and we're going to leave this URL alone unless you want to link to a different page, but I see no reason to do that right now, so we click Save Menu. And let's go look at the site. Well, actually, I already have a tab open, so we'll just look here, and we click Refresh, and see it's About Us, change to About You. And if I click on Admissions, okay, so there's Admissions. So you can see it still says About You. If we say Giving Development, it still says About You. With Clinical Affairs, still says About You. So the idea is that we've changed it once, and it's changed for every single page on the website. So it's not a hard-coded header, at least the menu's not. So the idea that they have to change everything for every single page is not true. You just change it once and it changes for every page. And the way you do it is through the menus page. So let's go back and we'll change it to about us. I don't know what it was originally. Click save. Okay. And then we click here. Again, it should change for every single page on the website. Yeah, it did. See, it says about us now. So it's as easy as that. It's not hard. I think the next topic is the drop-down menu. Let's take a look. It's different on every single page. Yep, I covered that. Not static or hard-coded. Mentioned that. Okay, number 2. How to change the drop-down menu text and links. It's the same process as with the main menu. Just scroll down on the same page, and you'll see the secondary menu. Okay, so as I said here, you can tell it's a drop-down menu because it's slightly indented. That's also how you make a drop-down menu, just indent an existing menu item. But let's take a look. So we just scroll down, and here's our drop-down menu. And the same thing, if you want to change something, you just click on the little arrow and it'll pop open. We can change the label, say programs 2, and we'll click save. And then you can click back on this tab and click refresh. And see it says programs 2 now. And if we go to, say, giving a development, see it still says programs 2. So again, this menu and the submenu are not page dependent. They're not hard coded into page by page. They're for the entire website. So okay, and again, it's not very hard to change. And we just erase that. We'll be back to the original. Click Save Menu. If you want to add new submenu items, all you do is go over to Custom Links and put in a hashtag. Put whatever you want. We'll say more programs. Click Add to Menu. And then you just drag it where you want it. Oh yeah, I've already done this. And so actually let's erase this one. Do remove. There you go. Or you can change it more programs too. But anyway, that's how you add another menu item. You just make the custom link, then drag it in. And if you eventually you want to have a link here linking it to an exact page, and you just put the URL or address right here. So it's as easy as that. You click Save Menu. Okay, so I think that's covered that topic. So let's go back to our sheet. Again, this will change the submenu for every single page on the site, so the menu is not fixed or static or hard-coded. Yep, I think covered that. 3. Okay, how to change the secondary or top navigation menu text and links. It's much the same as in step 1 and 2. In this case, though, we must select the secondary menu and then make the changes. So we're going to click here. Now we're on the Appearance Menus page. And then we'll go down to the one that says top left or top navigation. And we'll select that. Then we'll click the select button. And then you will see this page. And you can tell we're in the top navigation thing because this will show up. It'll say select menu to edit. And also be up here too. It says top left, top left. Okay, so anyway, again we'll just click on the little arrow and it will pop open. We can change the URL or address of or link, however you want to think of it, for the address that the link's linked to. And 2, we change the label as desired. The label is just the text that appears. And 3, we'll click Save Menu. So it's like we did before. It's just a different menu. So let's do it. Take a look. So here we are back in the menus, and this time we're going to select the top left. Click Select. Here's our top left menu. We can say, well, just change alumni to alumni B, just to show that it's changed. And we'll click Save. And then we will go. Take a look. See, we have alumni. And after we click refresh, say alumni B. There. And if we go to, say, Clinical Affairs, still says Alumni B. So there we go. That's how you change the secondary menu. I'm going to change it back. And we should be on to the next topic. 4. Change the menu font phase. Okay, these steps change the main menu font and the secondary, the top navigation menu as well. These effects will cover the menus for every single page on the website. This may have been throwing off your people. They may have been trying to change the font using the Avada menu options, but I've been using this plugin, which is Use Any Font, at least for the menu fonts. So anyway, let's just read through it. So if we want to change the menu font face, you're going to click here to open the page. And that's this Use Any Font tab. And it's going to open up this page. And then 2, we're going to scroll down, and then you'll see this section where it says Assign Font. And this is where the menu fonts are assigned. So you can click Delete if you want to get rid of this assignment. The menu text is this controls this class, because the dot just means class, is what controls the main and secondary menu font. And you can see we're using Formata BQ Regular. Okay. So if you want to change it, or 1, you could delete it, and then 2, you could go into, you click Assign Font, and this should all pop up, and you select the font from here, where you want to go, or you can assign it by class or ID, or both, for example, .menu text. So that's what I did previously. I said .menu -text, and that's how I assigned it to the main menu and the secondary menu. And you click Assign Font. So if you want to add fonts, scroll back up on that page and click Add Fonts and follow the instructions. I said if you prefer, you can delete fonts that are assigned with this plugin and try using the Avada font picker under Avada, Theme Options, Menu, Main Menu Typography, Menus Typography. Alright, I'll cover that after we look at this on the website. So here we are on the website. We're going to scroll down to Use Any Font and click on that. Okay, here's all the fonts, just like on the other page. And here's the menu text that's been assigned. The font format BQ Regular. Again, you click Assign Font, and we can say we want to assign, say, Big Caslin to, who knows, a heading or all body tags or paragraphs. Sure, we can see what happens. And then you just click Assign Font. Actually, maybe. Oh, I guess we click it down here. Okay. There we go. Big Caslin has been assigned to all paragraphs. Let's see if it had any effect. It might not. There might be more. It's kind of hard to tell. Let's do inspect. Hoping for something more obvious. Font family. Let's see. Yeah, it says Big Caslin, so it looks like it worked. Yep. So that's how you can change the font, but we don't want Big Caslin, so we're going to click Delete. Click OK. I'm going to go back here and click Refresh. Why is it? Don't worry about that, it's just the inspector doing that, it's nothing, no issue with the site. Okay, now we're back to Formata BQ Regular. It's more sans than the Caslin one. Okay, so that's how you can change the fonts using the Use Any Font plugin. I wouldn't recommend changing the fonts, but you know, it's your option. Okay, I think there's some other thing with this, what we're going to show. I think the other thing was I was going to mention, if you want, say you want to get rid of this menu text here, you could say delete. Alright, let's remember it's formatted BQ regular. And it was menu text. And we can go to VADA theme options. And we can go to menu, main menu, and we can check out, scroll down to main menu typography, and format BQ regular, so it should be the same, but let's try different fonts, see if we can get it to work through, this option. So we'll do Comic Sans, because that will be really obvious if it actually changes it. We'll click Save Changes. Let's take a look. Well, it's different. Oh yeah, it's Comic Sans. You can see it's got that kind of little curly look of comic, but you can see it, the spacing's all changed, so it's pushed everything around. As I said, these two blocks, they aren't very tolerant of things moving around. It's a very precise menu. So, I mean, it's been set, so it will be responsive to different size screens, but it's not set up so you can just go in here and move stuff all around and have it still look right. Like I said, everything was arranged very carefully. But anyway, that's how you can change the font if you like. So if you want to change it using this instead of the use any font, you can do it this way. So we should go to format of BQ regular and see, should work. I'll do save changes. If you want to go through this menu, then it's up to you really. So we've covered that. Let's go on. Change the menu font size. Okay, well we're already over here. We're in the menu, main menu. You saw where we were before. We scrolled down, and right below the menu typography we have menu font size. And again, the change we made affected every page on the website. It's not just for this page. So if we went to say About Us, it's still going to be formatted BQ regular. And anyway, let's change the font size. So we can say we want it to be, I don't know, 15. I said this menu is not very tolerant of changes, so it should look pretty messed up. But just to illustrate that it's possible, we'll change it. Okay, so now you can see it's bigger. And yeah, and I guess we'll click on a different page to show that it changes it for every single page, because that was the issue. But yeah, it changes for every single page. So I'm going to go back to here and click 9 pixels. Someone might say, well, why is this not more tolerant of changes? Because that's not really what I was assigned. I was assigned to make it match the PDFs, and so that's what I did. Because this isn't like a theme that I'm selling to other people so they can make websites. It's pretty much a bespoke or custom website. So that's how I look at it. Okay, but next topic. Well, and again, it changes for every page. So again, it's not hard-coded per page. Main menu, 16 pixel font. Yep, that's an example. Okay, number 6. Discuss how the menu is not hard-coded. Oh, well, I think I'm belaboring the point. Okay, but we'll just read through it. I think it's been covered enough, but to reiterate, all the changes I've shown affect every single page on the website. So the main menu and top menu are not hard-coded per page. There may be confusion because not all changes in the menu are made under the Avada menu system. Okay, for example, the font face is controlled using the Use Any Font plugin, which we covered, and the letter spacing for the menu text is controlled with custom CSS. Okay, so let me cover that in the next topic, which is number 7. 7, discuss custom CSS. So as discussed in the previous section, custom CSS is used to control some things. For example, the letter spacing for the menu. Go to Avada Theme Options, Custom CSS to see, well, custom CSS. As an example, let's see how to change the menu letter spacing. So, using the element inspector, right-click on the element you want to change, for example, a menu item, choose Inspector, and then preview any changes using that. Then note the corresponding line of code, if there is any, and go in and change that in the custom CSS section. So let's just look at this first. So we'd right-click on degrees, and then this menu will pop up, and you go to Inspect Element, or the equivalent in Chrome. This was done in Firefox. And then, well, I'll just show you. This might not really translate seeing the printed out pages. Okay, so we're on this page. We're going to go to degrees. We'll right-click, go to Inspect, and then we want to find the letter spacing. So we go up here and we can type in letter spacing. And you can see that it's, menu text is selected. So we're inspecting this element. So we're going to say letter spacing. Okay, we can see it's 0.8 pixels. Alright, so we can change that to, say, 3. And click down here, and you can see it increased it. Or we can do maybe 2, or 1, or 0.1, or 2, or 3, or 4, or 5. And you can see that you can preview a change in an element's property, in this case letter spacing. So let's just change it to 2 for now. And you can see it messes everything up. So I wouldn't recommend changing this. It's just, let's just say 1, okay, instead of 0.8. But anyway, just demonstrating that you can change things using custom CSS. So, or say the line height, you want that to be taller, you would say 42 or 78. But you see it's messing everything up because all of this, I said, was very precisely arranged, and it doesn't really tolerate changes at this point, because as I understood this was the design. I didn't think anybody's going to be changing it. So anyway, letter spacing. So if you want to change some custom CSS, we've gone in, we've inspected the element, found what we want to change. Now we can go look here and it'll say line 609. So that's where it is in the custom CSS. That's where the letter spacing is. So if we want to make a permanent change, we have to go into line 609 and change this. So let's go take a look. So where is this custom CSS? It's over here under Avada Theme Options, Custom CSS. I click here, and I'm going to scroll down to 609. And there you go. It's right there. We'll just change it to 1.8. Okay. And click Save Changes. And let's take a look. We'll click refresh, and it should be a little bit wider or more letter spacing than it currently is. Yeah, it is. And we'll click on, say, Clinical Affairs. And you see it happens for every single page. So, again, it's not hard-coded per page, but let's change this back to 0.8. And click Save Changes. Alright, let's go back to our list. And I just cover all this using arrows and text. Let's say we have number 1, right-click and select Inspect Element. Number 2, scroll down till you find the relevant value, or use filter style search by clicking up here. 3, find the value to change. I showed how you can preview the change by changing the number, then looking at the screen. Then 4, note the custom CSS line. Go here in the custom CSS and change to make permanent. So, I mean, I don't see you changing letter spacing, or I wouldn't, but that's how you would do it. I mean, to me, I thought the menu was just going to be left alone. So, anyway, next thing, go to Vada. Okay, I showed how to do it. So that's just an example of how you can change stuff using the custom CSS, and it's not per page, it's for the entire site. Okay, why use custom CSS instead of the Vada options? Sometimes it was just easier to use the custom CSS. Sometimes there were issues with the Avada options, and sometimes Avada options didn't allow for changes based on screen size, which turned out to be necessary. So those are the main reasons that I used custom CSS instead of using the Avada options. So number 8, cover how to change the header logo for large pages once and have it affect every page. And when I say large pages, I mean versus mobile pages. Okay, so there is a logo on every single page. In that sense, it is hard-coded, but it uses the same address for every single page. Therefore, we can change it once, that is the image that goes with that address, and it'll be changed for every single page. Alright, we'll put this, change it, we'll say the image once, and okay. And we'll say while keeping the same address. While keeping the same address. Hence, avoiding the whole quote, we have to change it for every single page in quote scenario. Then plus just means extra stuff. So although, why change it? I thought an enormous amount of time, thought, and consideration went to every aspect of the design. So yeah, I don't know why they'd want to change this logo. And I did use a vector graphic, so it's very sharp, and I think it looks great. So, but if they want the option to change it, that's how we're going to do it. So anyway, so here's how you change it once and have it change for every page. Right-click on the logo, select View Image Info from the pop-up menu. So just right-click it and do View Image Info. And we copy down the image name, and you see the image name is right here. It's after, well, it's everything from the end to the first slash. So just this RSHP logo, etc. .svg. SVG standing for, I think it's scalable vector graphic. So kind of like a PNG file or JPEG file. It's the same sort of thing. It's an image file. Okay. And then we note the address. In this case, it's going to be your site up to here. Then, but the main thing, noting WP content / upload / 2016 10. Okay. Then the preview, I'm just going to discuss what we're going to do. We're going to go get whatever image we want. I'm going to grab one from the BBC, their logo. We're going to give it the existing image name, so we're going to name it this, right? And we're going to put that new image at the existing address. So we're going to replace this whole thing with the new image, but it's going to have the same address, so it's going to load in all those, all those pages, because the logo is hard-coded, so to speak, but that's actually not bad, because it's the same for every single page. They all say this address and this image, so if we just change, this image, it will change it for every single page. So there you go. It's still just changing one thing. So we're finally replacing an image. We're going to name it this. Oh yeah, and as I mentioned, we have to make it an SVG because the existing one's an SVG. Otherwise, we would have to go in and change the text for every single page, which would be tedious. But there's not that many at this point. But anyway, it's not necessary. Just name it, make it SVG. So you're going to have to use Inkscape or InDesign or some other vector program that can save a file as a SVG file. So I took a screenshot of the BBC logo and opened it with Inkscape and saved it as a plain SVG. So after we've done all that, we're going to open FTP, find the address we noted earlier, and so we're going to go to that folder. We're going to append the old image with the name with the word archive, so you have it if you want it. It's like you shouldn't erase stuff if you're not sure you're not going to want back. So we're going to click on the existing image, add the word archive, then we're going to grab the new image that has that old name, and then drag it in. And then, presto changeo, you're going to have this new logo for every single page on your website. Extra, some might say this process is not user-friendly. I agree, it's not. But again, I don't see why this would be changed. And if it was being changed, I assume it would be a tech person, not a casual user. So anyway, that looks really complicated, but let's go through it once. And I think you'll see it's not terrible. It's not great. It's not as easy as just saying upload new logo, but it's not terrible. So, alright, here we are. Oh, and this is all messed up from, let's right click this. Refresh it. That's better. Okay, so we're going to right click on our logo. We're going to go to, I don't know if you can do it in Chrome. So I'm going to do this in Firefox. So I'll open this up. They might not have the image info. So anyway, we'll do right click to should be view image info. And there it is. So we're going to write this stuff down, or take a note of it. Well, it'd be nice if they just let us copy it, click do Command C and paste. Oh, but no, they didn't. So I'm going to say WP content slash upload slash 2016 slash 10. And the other thing we want is RSHPB logo vector. Oh, okay. There we go. So we have our folder address and the name of we want to assign to our new image to replace our existing image. Okay. I'll just save this. Say save as new logo info. Okay. All right. Let's find a logo. I'm gonna go to, as I said, the BBC. I'm just going to do Command Shift 4. Let's do a screenshot of it. I tried saving the JPEG earlier and it was acting weird, so I'm just going to save that. I'm going to open it up with Inkscape. Which is just a vector graphics program. And I'm going to go to File, Save As, let's see, an SVG. So we're going to give it this name. Oh, it doesn't let me paste. That's too bad. So I just have to write it in again. Okay. Okay, and then let's get this out of the way. So we're going to sign in for FTP, which I've already done. I'm already at this folder, but say you were, let's refresh this. Your site, you'd probably be, this would be like your root folder for the site. Then you go to WordPress content, and you'd go to uploads, and 2016, 10, and then you'd look for this file, which was RSHPB logo, etc. Okay, here it is. There, vectorized. Let's get rid of this one. Okay, so here it is, and like I said, this is the old one, so we're just gonna add archive to it. And we're gonna paste in our new one, which is on our desktop. This is the one we just saved. I think we could refresh one more time. Yeah, this is it. So we're gonna drag it in, and now we've got this new image with the existing title, so it should replace the existing logo. Let's click refresh and see if it did. Yep, it did. And let's see if it did it for more than one page. So we'll go to About Us. Looks like it's freezing up. I mean, like I said, it's just my server, and I think they don't like me having so many websites. Alright, let's just go over to the Firefox one and check it out, since this one's being difficult. Oh, I'll have to probably refresh the cache. There, you can see it changed the logo. We can go to admissions. Let's change on that one. We go to students. So you can see it's not, well, these are kind of set per page, but we can make one change and it will change for the entire website. So we just replace one file, one image, and the logo is changed for every single website. So the idea that the header, we proved that the menu is not hard-coded. We proved that the font's not hard-coded. The font size and the submenu we proved is not hard-coded. We showed that, yes, even though the logo is coded in every page, we can change it once and it will change it for every single page. And here, I think maybe this will help illustrate what's going on. Okay, so you look up here, here's the logo. So I think this is what people are talking about. They're like saying, oh, it's a fixed header. It's like, well, the logos are hard-coded or whatever, but let's take a look. Say edit element. Yeah, it's just a normal image, but it's always the same image at the same address, so that's how we're able to change it once. Because when I made these other pages, we're just doing the using the new page thing where we copy all of this. So this is the same, this full width container, the same for every one of these static pages. Okay, let's see, what else? And let's change it back, because I don't want the BBC for the logo, so I'm going to delete this. Click yes. And I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to erase the word archive. Make sure there's a dot. And then I'm going to go back to the website, click refresh, and it should go back to the old logo. And it did. So that illustrates how you can change one line or one image in it'll change the logo across the entire website. So, okay, moving on. Nine, discuss how the header, the menu and logo design was incompatible with the existing builder or a typical header with an integrated logo. Okay, let's take a look at that. So, go to the dashboard. Oh, this page is just... Oh. Alright, so we're back at the dashboard. We're going to go to menu, no, Avada theme options menu. Okay. And the main menu. Actually, let's go to header. Okay, so here's the existing headers you can choose from. And you can see the one that is up there now looks completely different because I modified it a lot using CSS. These are the main choices, okay? So, you can see that they all have the logo within the header. Alright, they're all above the, or next to the menu items. But this looks nothing like the design. The design, one of the most distinct features of it is that the logo, oh here, well this one doesn't really count because this is part of the slideshow, but it's the same thing. But one of the most distinct parts of it is that the logo is not in the header, so to speak. It's in the main part of the page. It's kind of a hallmark of this site. It's cool, but it's not in the header. And if I use, as I mentioned later, relative positioning, then this header or this menu would have to be as thick as this, and that wouldn't work. And say, well, we can use absolute positioning, which I'm sure your IT people are familiar with, but it was just problematic. So this is the solution I came up with. And you can see, like I said, it's not compatible with the existing stuff because, like, they might say, well, we want to change the the logo here. We want to change the default logo here, and because then it's easy. But as I said, it doesn't fit with the existing options so that they have for the header. So I had to put the logo, or that's the choice I made, to put the logo in part of the page. So, okay, I don't know if that makes sense, but you can still change it once and have it change for the whole website. So, let's see. 10, cover how to change the header logo for mobile device. Well, that's easy. You just go down to mobile logo, mobile logo, click remove, and upload your new logo. And there you go. Okay, so I'm sure this seemed like a lot. It was a lot, but I think I illustrated that it's not a hard-coded header. You can definitely change it and have it change across the entire website. I'd be really careful about it though, because as I said, this menu, as it is very, it's not temperamental, but it's very precise. It doesn't seem to like being moved around. So I wouldn't really mess with it. If you do, I mean, it's your prerogative. But I wouldn't. I think it looks good. I think it's functional. But it's up to you. Okay, well, I hope that was helpful. And I guess I'll be moving on to the next topic of the footer. Okay, thanks a lot.